Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Valentine's cards. We're almost on Valentine's Day, so I thought, you know, if you want to do a quick Valentine's card and you haven't got anything particularly Valentine's-y, that you can use some designer series paper, pattern paper, change it to the colours you want. So a couple of techniques here. And we'll end up with a rather fun Valentine's card at the end. So I'm using a piece of designer series paper which is free with literally just to the end of the month, so you've only got a couple of weeks left, and it is called, let me reach through and find the packet. It's called Friendly Hello. There's a stamp set and the pattern paper, and you can get both of them for a qualifying order. So I've taken a piece which is going to, I'm using Misty Moonlight as my back, and then this is 1/4 of an inch smaller. So whatever size you're using, for me it is 5.5 inches by 3 3/4. And so 1/4 of an inch smaller is 5 1/4 inches by 3.5. But I know that different countries, you know, you have different sizes and people do them different ways. So that's what we're going to start with. I've also, you can get hearts from absolutely anywhere. You'd be surprised how many dies that are about that have hearts in. I've taken mine this time from Give It a Whirl. These were the dies that make the sort of spinner cards, and there are 4 different hearts in here, so 4 different sized hearts, and they're absolutely perfect. So that's what I've used for the heart image in there, because I wanted hearts, because it's going to be Valentine's. Okay, again, if you're looking for clouds, there's clouds in there. If you're looking for stars, there's stars in there. There's all sorts. So don't forget the dies that you've already got. Don't think, oh, I have to buy special dies. If you haven't got any dies, then you can always take a piece of paper, fold it in half, draw a half a heart, cut it out and make them that way. Entirely up to you. So we are going to take this, what have I just done with it? Stuck to the bottom of here. We're going to take this piece and we're going to take some of the hearts. So with this piece, I want to change its colour completely. So I'm using a blending brush, and I've got I've done a combination of different colours, but Night of Navy is a very good dark colour. So if you just take a blending brush, if you haven't got a blending brush, you can use a piece of kitchen sponge. As I say, you don't have to have all of the fancy equipment. And what I'm doing is I am going to change this. Now, I'm only going to do a part of it because it will take a while, because what you're going to do is you're going to build it up. You can see here that I'm making it quite dark. You want it as dark as you can get it, because you don't want it to remain the same. You want to be able to see a little bit of patterning through, but you want it to be the dark colour. Okay, so you carry on all the way through and you will end up with a piece like that. Okay, so that's when it's all through and that's when it's dried. So you can still see the image through, but you've got a really nice dark piece. So that's what we're doing for that one. And then for the hearts, we're going to take some blends. So I'm just going to do 2 of them because I've done some of the others. Now what I've taken is, I've taken an orangey colour. So this is Calypso Coral, dark Calypso Coral. And then I've got dark Cherry Cobbler. So I'm going to use the Calypso Coral first. And literally you're just going to colour it right the way across. It's a very easy, simple thing to do. It's not going to take you a long time. So again, if you haven't got blends, you can use inks and you can just sponge it. You can also use our Stamping Right markers. Just colour it in whatever you want. So we're literally just going to take it through, and as long as you use an orange of some sort and then the red, you get this sort of lovely sort of tone going on. So that's the Calypso Coral. Then I'm taking the Cherry Cobbler, which is dark as well, and I'm going to go round the edge of this. And again, it doesn't have to be particularly fussy, or you know, you don't have to worry too much about it. You can bring it in a little bit, you can leave it out a little bit. You're literally just going round the outside, and you can see I'm not being particularly fussy at all. I'm just wanting to get a darker shade at the back. Then I'm going to go back in with the Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to blend that in a little bit so you don't have that sort of sharp line coming up. Okay, and then we're going to do this. Now, if you've got things like crystal effects or even embossing powder, what you can then do, clear embossing powder, you can actually then put some clear embossing powder over the top and do it with some colours in. So I'm going to show you how to do that with one of them. Let me just grab some clear embossing powder. Have I got clear? That's white. Is that clear? I'm just trying to, I'm thinking on the hoof here, so I'm just having a look. Yes, that's clear embossing powder, and we need some Versamark, and then I need my heat gun. So let me get that out. And right, okay, so our heat gun is really good because it has two settings, which is fantastic, and obviously a little stand for it to stand up on. And so what you need to do is, now these are going to be a little bit wet, so I'm not going to do these two. I have done some other ones, so let me just do these three on here, and it's going to be a very simple, easy thing to do. So all you're going to do is you're going to press your heart into the embossing, the Versamark. Okay, I'm just going to see if these are probably a little bit wet yet, but we'll see. Don't look too bad. It's always best to let them dry, and you'll do this several times. I'm just going to do it once. I don't think I've got that on that corner there. Could see it wasn't particularly good. So I'll put that in on there. I'm going to take a piece of copy paper so I can just get myself a piece of copy paper for doing my embossing. So if you fold it in half, it then gives you just a little bit of, now I'm going to put these carefully in on here. And as I say, you might have to do them a couple of times so you can build it up. I'm just going to do it once, and hopefully it's going to be just enough. So I'm just making sure that that is clear and not white. Yes, it is. So you're just literally going to cover each one of them with some embossing, clear embossing powder. Again, if you've got crystal effects, we used to do crystal effects, we don't do it anymore. You could use that. All it does is it gives it just an extra bit of shine, and also if you do lots of layers of it, it will actually bring it up really quite well. Now, I haven't got tweezers for this, so it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to, let's get it up on the edge. Okay, now I need to put this on too. Let's put this onto there because that'll work. I should have been a little bit better organised, but you could see how it works. I'm just tapping off the excess, and then we'll see how many fingerprints and things there are once I've finished. I think we should be all right. So I'm just gonna take that on there. But the nice thing is that you're getting a real pattern coming through from the designer series paper. So the reason that I fold it and put a crease in the middle is because then when I pour it back in, and as I say, your embossing powders will last you forever and ever. I mean, I've had these for 6 years, 5 years, and I'm about halfway through a pot at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. So you'll have to excuse the sound at the back. I always let it heat up a little bit first, and they might fly away a bit because I'm going to try and hold one of them down as I work on each one separately, but you'll then be able to see them colour through. So I'm just going to bring it back in and hopefully bring it onto the top. You can see how it then will have this lovely sort of glossy look over. So that's one. Let's do the second one. Now I just need to bring this one back in. Whee! They're quite light. Oh, I've got one in underneath here. And I've got another one down on here. Let's see if I can get this one back in quickly. Just the last one. I think that's them all. They're flying around everywhere. Right, let me just have a look and see. So we've got that, and you can see on there, you've got a lovely shine to it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there should be 2 tiny weeny little ones, but I don't know whether here we go. So I've still got these 2 to do. I am going to do them, so you'll have to bear with me or you'll have to fast forward it. So these are tiny weeny little ones, which are going to be a little bit more difficult, but still relatively easy because it's a simple sort of shape. So I'm going to put that back in my one that I've got in half. So just put, whoop, apart from they flip over a bit. And then I've got 2 tiny little ones. So again, just press them in, put them on, press them in, and put them on. I can't really have half of them done and half of them not. So that's that bit on there. Again, I'm just going to put a little bit of embossing powder over. Like that, and then just pick them up, give them a little tiny tap. So as I say, you can do whatever size you want. As I say, these are absolutely teeny weeny ones, but they're going to be all right. This little one, you can hardly see it, it's tucked in away in here, but that will go in like that. Okay, so I can then just put this back in here. And as I say, what I would do, I'm not going to do it now, but what I would do is I would do several layers of this, that you get more of a shine on there and more of a definition of them. But for this, I'm literally just going to, I want to try and hold 2 down, and hopefully the other one will not blow away too much. I come in on top, whoops, both of those blew away, but we'll get them back in. So that's one. Quick. Put it in. Moving embossing folder. Let me take this out of the way a minute so I can get it on the right bit. Okay. They do work very quickly though, so I've just got this little one here to do. So, and I'm holding it down just with some scissors, but as I say, if you've got a good pair of tweezers, you can do it with that. Okay, so that's given us our lovely hearts. And as I say, you can see, hopefully, they've got a real shine on them. So we're now going to, let me just take, I'm going to take this dirty piece out and swap it over with a cleaner piece, which will make it a little bit better. I've still got my cork mat out because I was showing you the other day about using just what you've got instead of, I mean, I use my grid paper quite a lot, but you don't have to. Now we're going to put on the back of this some dimensionals, so let me just grab my dimensionals out. There we go. Those are big ones, and I've got some little ones there that I can do. Have I got, might see if I've got my minis in here as well to take them out. I should have, here we go. Right. Right, so I've got my dimensionals out, and I'm going to put, because I want a little bit of height on these. Now, there's 2 ways of doing it. You can, if you want to, is cut out several of these to bring the layers up, or you can just put one little dimensional in on the center. So I'm going to have a dimensional in on the back of all of these, and then I'm going to show you 2 different ways of putting this together, so you've got 2 different looks. Okay, so this is going to go onto the little ones. So the mini dimensionals are going to go on the back of the first 2 sizes, because you only really need one, and then I'm going to put the larger ones in on the back of the larger ones. So we can have one like that, one like that, one like that, and one like that. Okay, so that's our dimensionals and everything done. So let's go back to our card. Now, what I've done is, so this is our base, and I've cut because I wanted, when I put this on its own, it got lost a bit. So I've done a white mat as well. So this is 1/4 of an inch smaller with a white mat. And then this is 1/4 of an inch smaller with a blue mat. And then I am going to, I'm not going to stick it all down because I want to show you 2 ways of doing it. So I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to place them on for now. But you can see that you've got the matching. So I'm just going to put one of each one in. Like this. And And then we've got the little one in there as well. Okay, so you can have 4 or you can have 5. You can have as many as you want. So, you know, I would probably do a couple of more of those ones and maybe one like that coming down. So you've got an odd number. And then what I did to make it a Valentine's card was to take the one of my favorite sayings, which I'm always using, is the one in the, let me see if I can, this one. I've used it such a lot. Best delivery. Fantastic with the hearts, and you know I've used these hearts quite a lot on their own. This, sending lots of love today and each day after, I think is a lovely saying. But I didn't want to have all of that. I just wanted to have lots of love. So what I've done is I have stamped it out. Let me show you the part. Here we go. So I've stamped it out like that. And all I'm going to do is to take this part away like this. And then cut that up. So I've already done that to save some time. And so we've now got lots of love, and then I can put it sort of in between down on that side. And I don't want it to be completely sort of straight. I want it to come at sort of an angle. So you've then got your card that looks like that, which again, as I say, very simple. All you're doing is colouring your designer series paper in the 2 colours, and it gives that sort of look. Now, if you don't want the dark paper underneath, what you can do is, so let me take this off here, is to put the hearts directly onto white. So you can see on here, if you wanted it to be you know, quite plain, and then you could have your lots of love embossed or whatever, or stamped just down on the bottom, so you can make it quite simple as well. Entirely up to you. I like both ways. I really like this because you've got the paper matching, but again, you don't have to have lots of paper, you just have to have the ability to colour things in. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well, please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.